the topic is ansa cervicalis. As I have already written, ansa cervicalis. Now it is actually a thin, nerve loop, as I have already written. It's a thin nerve loop that is embedded in the, and it's a nerve loop embedded in the sheath, that is carotid sheath, embedded in the anterior wall of carotid sheath. Carotid sheath is the layer of deep cervical fascia, as you know, deep cervical fascia, layer of deep cervical fascia. We saw it yesterday in extensive detail. So as I was explaining to you yesterday about the carotid sheath, if you understand this diagram, if you recall this diagram, right, this was the same diagram. Now this is the carotid sheath of the left side. So this is the left internal jugular vein. This is the left common carotid artery. This is the left-sided vagus nerve. This is the sympathetic trunk behind, and this is ansa cervicalis. Yesterday I said that we will discuss this separately, ansa cervicalis. It's a short note question and it is also important surgically. So if you see, this is on the left side. This is off the left side. So if you see the orientation of this diagram, this is the medial aspect. So the artery is on the medial aspect. Now, so I hope you get. So this is the anterior aspect. Yesterday you saw the main diagram. Should I bring it again for you? Wait, so that you get completely oriented with the diagram. Just a second. See this. This was the diagram yesterday I was explaining to you. See this one. Yes, this is the carotid sheath. Uske andar contents are the internal jugular vein. This is the internal carotid. External carotid goes outside the carotid sheath. Inside the carotid sheath, mainly first you have the common carotid in the inferior aspect. And if you recall this diagram, this is the main diagram. So are you getting oriented? See, we have to connect diagrams. It doesn't mean that if the chapter has changed, the diagrams are different and they have nothing to do with each other. They are basically connected to each other. So if you understand that this is the cut section, transverse section at C7 level of the neck, as I already told you, this diagram to you is depicting various layers of the deep cervical fascia. Of this is the carotid sheath of the left side. This is the carotid sheath of the right side with its contents. If you see these two arrows, small, I have written here, roots of ansa cervicalis. Actually you will not be able to see it in the video probably. See, this is just a second, we will try to focus it. Yeah. Can you see two dots here and two arrows? They are the roots. If you cut it, if it is like this, mala rehti hai na mala, or the people of Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, ISKCON temple, they put a tilak, tilak on their forehead. So if you cut it from between, you will be just seeing those two. If you cut these fingers like this, you will just see the 2 points like this. Just a second. You will see just 2 points. You will not be able to see this complete structure. Hope you get it. Okay. So if you see this diagram, this is about the ansa cervicalis. So now, we lost that diagram. Just a second. Just give me a moment. I will get the diagram for you. So we were talking about ansa cervicalis, isn't it? So you got it, how it is present. Just a second. Yeah, this is the ansa cervicalis. So if you see this anterior aspect, this is the posterior aspect. So anterior aspect of the carotid sheath, in that you have over it you have the ansa cervicalis. Got this clear? Are you clear with this? Now we will see how is the ansa cervicalis formed. So I hope you are able to get oriented to this diagram. Yes, this is the anterior, this is the posterior. Already oriented on the left side. Yes, ansa cervicalis. So it is nothing but it is embedded in the anterior wall of the carotid sheath and the lower part of pharynx. Okay, lower part of the larynx, not pharynx, sorry, larynx. Okay, so I will show it to you in the anatomy. I have the atlas today with me. I will show it to you. So if you see, this is the transverse section taken at the lower level of the carotid sheath, and so you are able to see the common carotid artery, not the internal carotid artery. If it is taken at the higher level, at the superior level in the neck, then here you would have internal carotid artery, because already the branching takes place. Understood? Now, if you see the formation, the path is over, as I have written, internal carotid artery, okay, in the superior aspect, and later on when you go down on the lower aspects, it's on the common carotid artery. It is also along the internal jugular vein and winds it then and moves towards the common carotid artery. Now, whatever all this I am saying to you, I will show it to you in the diagram over here. Now, can you see this? Can you see this? Just a second. Let me make it visible to you. Okay. Can you see this diagram? Yes. Now, if you see, this is the lip. So, this is the anterior part. This is the pen, is the posterior aspect. This is the occipital bone. So, you have the mastoid process here, and can you see the sternocleidomastoid? We used this diagram yesterday when we were talking about the posterior triangle of neck. Can you see this posterior triangle of neck? See, this is the trapezius muscle. This is the clavicle bone. This is the sternocleidomastoid. Can you see, coming from the sternum and the clavicle going into the mastoid? Now, yesterday we saw that, see, this is the external jugular vein. Do you remember? And see these three supraclavicular nerves. Can you see, they have labeled it here, see, supraclavicular nerve. This is the accessory nerve or the, accessory nerve. Can you see? So, all this, great auricular nerve. Yesterday we saw great auricular nerve comes. This is the this is a transverse cervical nerve, great auricular nerve, and one more nerve. Which one? Lesser occipital nerve. So, this lesser occipital nerve goes deep. This is a superficial view where you are able to see the sternocleidomastoid. Once you remove the sternocleidomastoid and you go in depth, then you will be able to see the lesser occipital nerve, which is going here inside. Now, here I want to show you, see this. See this. Can you see this? See, this is the external jugular vein, okay. This blue structure is the internal jugular vein, and this is the carotid artery. Now, if you see this, there is some nerve coming like this. Can you see it? Are you able to see? See this? You are able to see it as white structure. It is actually yellow. It's probably reflecting. Can you see this like this? And here there is a division. हे white structure तुम्हाला दिसतंय. It is appearing to you white. It is actually yellow but very thin, and the book is reflecting the light. So you are able to see it as white. It is actually yellow. It is the nerve, okay, thin. Now this is coming like this down, okay, and then it is going this way. Can you see this? Below the sternocleidomastoid, it's taking a loop. So when you remove the sternocleidomastoid, you are easily able to you are able to see it. Now you need to understand, beside, I mean on the left of this white line, what you can see, which we are calling the ansa cervicalis root. Can you see this division? So below is the common carotid artery, and this is getting divided into the internal carotid artery and the external carotid artery. Understanding? Okay. So I hope you have got oriented with this. Now this is coming from where? Thorax. Common carotid artery is coming from the thorax. So left side you have the common carotid. Yes or no? Yes or no? Or you have the common carotid on the right. You have on the both the sides. Left common carotid, right common carotid. Okay. And then they divide into internal and external carotid. Now if you remove the sternocleidomastoid to see the structures below. So all the superficial structures, that is the supraclavicular nerve, this transverse cervical nerve, this external jugular vein. Can you see this external jugular vein, accessory nerve? All this will go aside. And once you remove the sternocleidomastoid, the diagram will be like this. Are you able to see this? I will just zoom it out for you. Are you able to see this properly? Yes. Now I will explain it to you. See how is the diagram. Just a second. I'll set the camera. Okay. Now can you see? Can you see? See, we have already removed this sternocleidomastoid muscle. Okay, sternocleidomastoid is removed. So this is the cut end of the sternocleidomastoid. Are you able to see the cut end of the sternocleidomastoid? Okay. Now we have also cut this internal jugular. See, can you see this arch? Can you see this arch? What is this arch? Can anyone tell me? See, it is the subclavian vein. Do you remember there was a, see, this is the subclavian artery. Okay, these are the brachial plexus. Yesterday we saw this kind of diagram in the deep contents of the posterior triangle. Do you recall? Absolutely, you should recall. It is all the same, nothing is different. Okay, you just need to correlate things. See, this was the posterior triangle. We cut off the sternocleidomastoid, we removed it off to see the detailed structure. Yesterday, we did not remove the sternocleidomastoid when we showed these brachial branches, when we showed the subclavian artery and vein. Why? Because we wanted to depict the posterior triangle. So it was there. If you see, see, this is the scaleneus anterior muscle. Can you see this? So this scaleneus anterior muscle is coming like this in between the subclavian artery and the subclavian vein. Subclavian vein was anterior, subclavian artery and these brachial plexus were on the posterior aspect of the on the scaleneus anterior muscle. We saw this yesterday. Now we have also cut this. We have taken a piece out of the internal jugular vein. Why? Because we want to show these arteries. Okay. It has nothing to do with the ansa cervicalis. Now can you see, we were discussing about ansa cervicalis. See, can you see this loop? Can you see this loop? See, I will mark it again. Properly trace it. White structure you are able to, are you able to make it? Are you able to make it? See this one. Are you able to make it? This is the loop. Okay. This loop is called as ansa cervicalis. Now here it is giving, see, this now is not the branch of ansa cervicalis. It is coming from below. It is behind ansa cervicalis. Now just now I was telling you a few facts of the formation or of the position of the ansa cervicalis. I said that its path is over the internal carotid and the common. See, can you see this? There is a division here, internal carotid and external carotid. Here they start dividing. So this is the common carotid artery. Can you see already it has been labeled in this diagram that this is common carotid artery. This further divides as external internal. Now the one which is actually external carotid is this, and the one which is internal carotid is near the internal jugular vein. Do you recall? Now this is all covered with what? Carotid sheath. We saw contents of carotid sheath are internal jugular vein. See, this is the vagus nerve. Can you see? Vagus nerve. Now this is the anterior aspect. We are seeing it like this. तर ती शीथ जर का अशी असेल तर त्याच्या अँटीरियर वॉल मध्ये, कॅरोटिड शीथच्या अँटीरियर वॉल मध्ये ansa cervicalis embedded आहे, जे की तुम्हाला इथे दिसत आहे. Can you see this? The carotid sheath is not shown here, but it is there. It is not shown here, but it is there. So this is the anterior. This ansa cervicalis is present in the anterior wall of the carotid sheath, the contents of which are this. That is the internal jugular vein, internal carotid artery. This external carotid artery is outside. I showed you the diagram just now. Do you recall? Shall I show it again? Wait, I will show it to you again. See this. You should get oriented. This is only my the reason why I am explaining so hard. Can you see this diagram? See this. Internal jugular vein. See this. Vagus nerve and internal carotid artery, which is a continuation of common carotid. Branch of common carotid कोण आहे? Internal carotid आणि external carotid. External carotid बाहेर जाते. आता this is what kind of orientation are you getting? This is the orientation we are seeing here, exactly ulta. Can you see? See here. Internal jugular vein is on your left. Here it is to your right. Means what we are seeing of the opposite side. This is we are observing of the left side. This is we are observing of the right side. Now, I hope you are able to get. So what I said, that extent or location of this ansa cervicalis, I said that it is coming over the internal carotid artery and further on the common carotid artery. Can you see? This is internal. Can you see the division here? इथे खास दिसते का depression. So this is nothing but division of internal carotid external carotid artery from the common carotid artery. So external ही बाहेरच्या साइडला, internal ही आतल्या बाजूला आहे. We are going in depth this way. So this internal carotid artery, I said, formation or path you can say, it's over the internal carotid artery initially, then further on the common carotid artery. Then what have I written? It goes along the internal jugular vein. It is taking the curve here, and this is a loop. So curve here and going along the internal jugular vein. See, this is the internal jugular vein. Okay, internal jugular vein. And then it moves towards the common carotid by taking, actually it is taking, when you describe it from this side, you say it is going over the internal jugular. When you are describing this way, you say it is going over the common carotid. Okay, so this goes like this and winds behind. Now what do you see this all? See, this is the C2, this is C1. Okay, these are the cervical plexus. Now cervical roots, this C1, this is C2, this is C3. See, it's labeled here. Can you see? This is the C2 root, anterior ramus, C3 anterior ramus, this is C4. Okay, and this is C5 coming this way. Are you able to make it? So these are the cervical plexus. Yesterday I told you that cervical plexus and hypoglossal nerve form the ansa cervicalis. Now you saw which rami of the cervical plexus do they form the ansa cervicalis. So it is C1, this, C2, this, and C3. See, C2 and C3 are coming together. Can you see C2 and C3 coming together? And C1 is also here. It is also sharing some nerve fibers. Okay, C2 rami, C3 rami. Can you see this C2 anterior rami branch coming from here? C3 anterior rami branch coming from it. They are combining to form this ansa cervicalis loop. Okay, and this is going. And here, if you see, this is the hypoglossal nerve. This is the vagus nerve. Can you see this? Vagus nerve, which is the content of the carotid sheath. Content of the carotid sheath. That is why it is present with the other contents of the carotid sheath. That is internal jugular vein and common carotid artery. Now, यांच्यासोबत वेगस nerve आहे. वेगस nerve चा आपला आता सध्या काही घेणं देणं नाही आहे. This is the hypoglossal nerve. See here, can you see? This is the chin part. Chin ला आपण काढलंय. So all these are forming the buccal cavity muscles, forming the buccal cavity. See this mylohyoid muscle, one of the diaphragm. Do you remember when you had discussed diaphragm? I had discussed with you 7 diaphragms of the human body. Of this, one was the oral diaphragm. That is the mylohyoid muscle. So this mylohyoid muscle, can you see this? This complete is the mylohyoid muscle. On either side you have the mylohyoid. Not this one. Not this one. This is the digastric muscle, anterior belly. Okay, can you see this? I am again showing. Can you see this triangular part? Can you see this? This is the mylohyoid muscle. This is the submandibular gland. Okay, this, can you see this round structure? Submandibular gland. So this triangular structure is the mylohyoid muscle. It is the oral diaphragm. So the above it all muscles of the tongue and all. So this hypoglossal is muscle nerve. Hypoglossal nerve is going behind this mylohyoid, and it will go and pierce genioglossus. We will discuss hypoglossal nerve in detail in the next coming lectures. At that time I will tell you the complete route of hypoglossal nerve, from where it is originating, from where it is passing, and where on. But you have to remember that this is the hypoglossal nerve, and can you see this fine root coming out of it? See, this is the hypoglossal nerve, already labeled here. Can you see? Hypoglossal nerve. So this is the labeling. Now there is a nerve root coming from this. See this one, very thin. This is, so nerve root from the hypoglossal nerve, and nerve root from C2, C3 which you can see, and C1 which you are not able to see here. They are forming the ansa cervicalis. Now this ansa cervicalis is having 3 parts. Okay, it is coming from this to this we are considering. So this becomes the superior root. This loop is called as the ansa cervicalis. So this is the superior root. This is the ansa cervicalis, and this is the inferior root. Okay, superior root, ansa cervicalis, and I'm sorry, I told you ulta. I'm sorry, this is the superior root. This is more superior, right? This is the superior root, this is ansa cervicalis, and this is the inferior root. Okay, see why superior, inferior? See, their names have come from this. This cervical plexus is positioned below as compared to the hypoglossal nerve. So if you see that this hypoglossal nerve is positioned superior to the cervical plexus. So root coming from it is the superior root. This is the ansa cervicalis, which is ansa cervicalis proper, and this is the inferior root. Okay. Have you understood the formation? Have you understood the positioning? Are you able to make it? Is it easy? Is it easy? Okay. So now we will see this ansa cervicalis supplies to which all muscles and what all structures. So there is one diagram again here. This has made very easy the task, very easy for me. Okay. Are you able to make this diagram? Are you able to see it? Now, see this. Hypoglossal nerve. I have a very simple diagram. I will draw it for you for your sake to practice, because this is a textbook diagram which is damn difficult and we cannot draw the textbook diagrams. Okay, so can you see this? This is the hypoglossal nerve, okay, which was present in that diagram, and these are the cervical plexus. So from C1, C2 and C3 there are nerves coming and forming this ansa cervicalis. Are you able to make it? Yes. Now if you see this, two branches from the hypoglossal nerve. See this hypoglossal nerve. Two branches from this are going to geniohyoid and thyrohyoid. Correct? They are supplied separately by whom? Sorry, not by hypoglossal nerve. It is by the C1. See this, C1 is coming this. Can you see this C1? Hypoglossal nerve ke khali branches, the nerve rootlets are just coming to this ansa cervicalis. Okay, just coming to the ansa cervicalis. So, geniohyoid, see there is actually a genial structure, actually superior and inferior genioid process are there. These genioid processes are present in the mandible. So from mandible, when you will learn about the anatomy of the bone mandible, you will get to know. So from genius process to hyoid muscle, I am not remembering the name, whether it is genicular or genioid. I have shared a video of mandible on the group today. So if you see that from those processes of the mandible, okay, that is genial tubercle, yeah, genial tubercles. So superior and inferior genial tubercles are present. So from that genial tubercle of the mandible, which is present on the posterior side of the mandible, if this is the mandible, here and this is the front of the mandible. Okay, can you feel it? So just at the base here, just to the base below, in the posterior aspect, this is the anterior aspect, this is the posterior aspect. So in posterior aspect they are present, this genial tubercle, superior, inferior. So from genial tubercle to the hyoid muscle, what geniohyoid muscle is there, this branch of C1 goes and supplies. Thyroid, you already learned from the thyroid, not from the thyroid gland, it is the thyroid cartilage. From thyroid cartilage to the muscle, you have this nerve is supplying. Now coming to our ansa cervicalis, this is the superior root, this is the inferior root. So the superior root gives one branch, that is branch to the omohyoid muscle, superior belly of omohyoid muscle. Yesterday I told you that of the omohyoid muscle there is a superior belly and inferior belly, and the middle tendon is hung by, or it is hooked by which pulley? The pulley which is formed by the investing layer of deep cervical fascia, as we discussed 2 days back. So the superior belly, shall I show it to you again or you will understand? I have already shown you the superior belly of omohyoid. So superior belly of omohyoid muscle is supplied by the nerve which is coming from the superior root of the ansa cervicalis. Can you see this? This is the superior root, this is the inferior root, and this is the ansa cervicalis proper. So this completely forms the ansa cervicalis. Now this proper ansa cervicalis proper, it gives three branches to sternothyroid. म्हणजे sternum पासून thyroid cartilage पर्यंत जे muscle extend होत आहे, sternothyroid muscle. Sternohyoid muscle means what? From sternum to hyoid muscle. We already discussed this in the strap muscles when we were talking about the thyroid gland, and in that cut section of the cut section through the neck through the thyroid gland. So you know this. So sternohyoid, sternothyroid and sternohyoid, and the other branch it gives to omohyoid muscle inferior belly. That is, this inferior root gives branch to omohyoid muscle ka inferior belly. So superior root is giving branch to Omohyoid muscle, superior belly. Superior root, superior belly. This way you can remember. Inferior root of this ansa cervicalis is giving branch to omohyoid muscle, inferior belly, and this ansa cervicalis proper, sternothyroid, sternohyoid. So total this ansa cervicalis is giving 4 branches. Omohyoid, superior belly, inferior belly, sternothyroid muscle, sternohyoid muscle. Have you understood? So if there is a damage to the ansa cervicalis, the action of all these will be lost. Action of all these will be lost. So you saw supraclavicular nerves yesterday we were discussing. They are coming from C3 and C4. Understood? C supraclavicular nerve. And we saw great auricular nerve and all this. They were also forming. Understood this? See this. Accessory nerve. Can you see this accessory nerve is labeled here? All this. So this is about ansa cervicalis. Have you understood about ansa cervicalis? It's very simple. Superior root, inferior root, and its formation, its location we have already discussed in this diagram. See this. This is the location. You have to explain the extent of the ansa cervicalis. That first it is appearing. It is the superior root is coming from the hypoglossal nerve this way, and it is coming over the internal carotid artery, then extending over the common carotid artery, then going on the internal jugular vein, and it is forming from this cervical plexus C1, C2 and C3. C1 is not visible here. This is C2. This is C3. Can you see these thin lines coming? These are the nerve root, and it is giving 4 branches. This superior, can you see this? See this branch. Can you see this? This branch. See, this is the superior root. This is the inferior root. Okay. This is going to, now this is the cut. See, can you see this? Omohyoid, it is written here. Can you see this? Omohyoid muscle, inferior belly. This one. And this is the omohyoid muscle, superior belly. So here, this is the sternocleidomastoid which we already cut here. It was there. Over this, there was the tendon forming. So this became the superior belly. From here, it would have been the inferior belly. We have just cut and removed the superficial muscle so that we can see the deep structures. So this is the branch. Can you see? This is the branch to superior belly, and this is the branch which is going to supply to the inferior belly, which would have been here. And these are going to these 2 strap muscles. Can you see these 2 strap muscles? Below this, you have the sternohyoid and sternothyroid. Cartilage इथे खाली है. त्यामुळे sternohyoid and sternothyroid. Are you able to make it? Is it very simple? I hope I have tried to make this very simple. I will post these diagrams on the group so that you can use them. Okay? Understood? Ansa cervicalis easy chapter? Okay, thank you. So